Hi and welcome to Media Marketing's online training. In this video, we'll go over slide optimization, a technique for reducing the size of your slides, which can speed up access, reduce storage space, and improve performance. What is slide optimization? Ideally, you'll optimize your slides as you build them. It saves exporting and importing time, and if you use the same graphic across multiple slides, you'll only have to optimize once to achieve the benefits of compression. But you can also compress your slides after they've been added to your system and take advantage of the benefits of the reduced file sizes and increased speed. In this training, we'll show you how to use the library grid to identify which slides might be the best candidates for optimization. Slide optimization reduces the amount of hard drive space that your library uses, and that benefit extends far beyond just saving storage space. Smaller slides display faster in Presentation Builder, and more importantly, download into your presentations more quickly and make it easier to share those presentations with your audience. A common question is, what file size is too much, or what slide size should I be aiming for? If you're dealing with graphics on a slide, even if you're looking at a slide with multiple graphics, you can easily get the average slide size down to the 200 to 300K range. This number could be higher if you have large format printing needs which demand higher quality. A common fear about slide optimization is that it reduces the quality of the images and graphics on your slides. While extreme compression can have a visible effect on your slides, you'd be surprised how much you can reduce the complexity of your images and still not make a change that's visible to the naked eye. In many cases, a graphic on the slide has been manually reduced after it was placed, but the resolution of the graphic is still full-sized. Optimization helps you set the resolution of the graphic to the size it's at right now, sometimes saving megabytes of memory. When you're working with graphic images, you'll want to try to stick to one of two formats, JPG or JPEG and PNG. These two formats can compress your images dramatically without sacrificing quality. Formats that don't support compression are WMF or Windows Metafile and its cousin EMF, Enhanced Metafile. These two formats are primarily used in distribution of vector-based images and are not conducive to compression and optimization. Also, when you're adding graphics to a slide, you'll want to use the Insert Picture command rather than copying and pasting from one document into PowerPoint. Many other applications include links and other invisible metadata with the image that won't appear in your PowerPoint slide but will take up space. Using Insert Picture helps guarantee that you'll get just the image and none of this extra data. Another aspect of slide optimization is removing cropped elements of your images. After placing a graphic on a slide, some users crop them down to focus on a specific element of the image. And by default, PowerPoint keeps those hidden edges stored in memory, even though it's unlikely you'll need them again. With optimization, those unseen edges are removed, restoring memory and increasing performance. The best way to perform optimization on your slides is to start with faster and easier methods first and then move to more complex and powerful methods if you're not achieving the results you're looking for. In the following walkthrough, we'll start with the easiest methods for slide optimization and then move to more involved and third-party solutions. I'll start by showing you how you can easily find the slides in your system that would benefit the most from optimization. We'll start out here in Slide Manager level, and I'll go to the library grid and select the following options. At the top, I'll select Slides, and then down below, I'll select Name, Type, and then further down, Size. I'll click Show Apply, and the grid will show me all the slides in my system with all that information. If I look down here at the bottom, I've got a miniature report showing me the size of the smallest slide, the size of the largest, and then the average. In this test system, my largest slide is over 10 megabytes, and my average is 1.5 megabytes. Now, if I click the top of the column, I can sort all these items smallest to largest, and if I click again, it'll reverse the sort, showing the largest size slides on top. And here I can see the 10 megabyte maximum. But for this example, we'll work with a couple of different slides in the list. This one, which is 4.7 megabytes, let's take a look at a preview for this slide. Yeah, it's got 9 images on it with 4 of them repeated. And then we'll look at this slide down here, which is almost 3 megabytes. I want to see how much I can reduce the size of this slide, so I'll right-click on the slide and choose Download. And in the window that appears, I'll choose Download Only to just download the slide without hiding it from users. Alright, I've got it pulled up in PowerPoint, and I can see that the slide is one large picture with some text elements overlaid on top. And I'm pretty sure that the photo is the source of the file's size. It's probably at a higher resolution than I need, and I have a very easy way to address that. From the File tab, I'll select Save As. I'll change the name of this file so it doesn't overwrite my original, and also so I can compare the two sizes. Now, here at the bottom, next to the Save button, is a Tools menu, and if I select it, I can see an option called Compress Pictures. I'll select it, and I can see the Compress Pictures options. This is the same window you see when you choose Compress Pictures from the Picture Tools tab, by the way, but this will apply the transformation as you save your document and allow you to compress all the pictures in that document simultaneously, which is very time-saving. This option lets me select whether or not I wanted to delete the outside areas of cropped pictures, which saves a lot of space. And down here are 4 levels indicating how much I want the pictures compressed. I recommend you try each option when you have some spare time to see the differences in quality between each of them. But by default, I always go with screen resolution, or 150 pixels per inch. This is a happy medium that compresses the file significantly without sacrificing detail in the image. I'll click OK, and then I'll click Save. And now if I go back out to my desktop, I'll see the 2 files here in my folder. And looking at the sizes, I can see a huge difference. My original file is almost 3 megabytes, but my new one is just over 200K, less than a tenth of the size of the original. But the devil is in the details, right? Let's open both files and compare the quality of the photo. I'll drag the before picture here to the left side of the screen, and I'll drag the after to the right side of the screen, and then I'll zoom in at 120% and focus on the 2 guys standing on the communications tower. Now the one on the right does have a little bit of a softer look, but overall, the 2 images are virtually identical in quality, and if I'm presenting this slide, it'll make a big difference when it pops up on my screen more quickly. Now let's open the other document we looked at. Here it is in PowerPoint, and we can see all the images here. Now, with this document, which is 4.6 megabytes, I tried the previous Save As and Compress Pictures method, and it didn't save any space. That could be for a number of reasons, but the most likely is that the pictures were saved in an uncompressible format, or copied and pasted onto the slide, rather than placed on the slide using PowerPoint's Place function. So, instead, I've opened the file up, and we're going to look at another method for compressing the slide. It downloads without the design template, so I can work on it independently from any particular template, but of course I can apply a template to it at any time if I want to see how it's going to look in the system. But for now, I'm most concerned with getting these image sizes down. If I right-click on this picture of the family and choose Format Picture, I can see the properties for that image. And if I go to Size, I can see that the photo is 62% of its original size. Replacing that oversized and scaled image with a version at the right size will definitely make a difference. So, I'll right-click on the image again and choose Save As Picture. Now Save As Picture will take the selected image and save it out just as you see it on the slide. If the image is cropped, it'll cut off those cropped edges. If the image has been resized, as this one has, it will export the image file in the reduced size. I'll save the file as Family, and I'll keep the default option for Save As Type as JPEG, and then I'll click Save. Now, in the folder I've selected, I have the JPEG image of the graphic from this slide. I'll now take advantage of another feature of PowerPoint, the inline replacement of an image. Change Picture, which you can get to by right-clicking on an image on your slide, will replace the selected image with any other image you choose from your hard disk, and it replaces it while keeping any animations, layers, and builds intact. I'll select Change Picture, and I'll choose the saved JPEG version of the family picture we were looking at, and then I'll click Insert. Because the image is saved at the same visual size of the previous image, you won't notice any difference. But now, if we go into Format Picture, you can see on the Size tab that this image is now saved at 100%, so we've saved some space there. Now I'll go through and do the same thing for these other photos. Fortunately, with this dollar stack image, I can just save as picture once and then do the change picture function all 4 times. All right, I'll go through and do the other 4 pictures here at the bottom. The process does take a little bit of time, but you get the benefit of not only having smaller file sizes, but also of having optimized versions of all these images to use on future slides. Now that I've saved all 9 images on the slide, let's save the slide so we can compare the sizes. Like last time, I'll change the name so we can compare the 2 documents. And we can see that the original version is 4.6 megabytes and the new one is only 128K. And at this point, just like with the last slide that we worked on, the best option would be to replace these files inside your slide library, and you'd use the replace function for that. We'll talk about that in another video. Now the last method we'll look at very quickly, and that is using a third-party tool that we recommend called NX Power Lite. We're not affiliated with NX Power Lite in any way, but you can download a free trial of the software by visiting nxpowerlite.com. It's pretty inexpensive and can save you a lot of time, especially if you have to compress a large number of slides in your library. Now, I've got the original versions of the 2 slides we worked on before right here in this folder, and I've got a shortcut to NX Power Lite here on the desktop. So I'll launch NX Power Lite, and then I'll drag the 2 documents into the NX Power Lite window. Just like in PowerPoint's Save As window, I get an option where I can select the level of compression for the photos in the document. And, just like in PowerPoint, I'll keep it to the 150 ppi setting, also called screen resolution. I'll click Optimize, and it'll begin optimizing the files. Now in this case, I get a warning that one or more of my documents contains embedded documents, and most likely this is the slide that had all the different photos on it that were probably saved in a different format. It's asking me if I want to flatten the embedded documents, and I'll say yes. A couple quick notes about flattening. Number 1, you don't want to use it if you've got movies on your slides, because what it'll do is take one frame from that movie and make that the image that you see on the slide. So it'll eliminate any movies that you have on your slides. Second, if you've got tables, graphs, or charts on your slide, flattening will make them uneditable, which can be good if you don't want your users getting in and changing any of that information. However, if you do want the flexibility of being able to edit those later on, then you do want to say no to flattening. And in a few seconds, it's finished, and I can see the size difference in the 2 files. Our communications tower slide went from being 2.8 megabytes to being 148K, and our multi-image slide went from 4.6 megabytes down to 122K. I got the same results as the 2 methods that I showed you before, but NX Power Lite was able to do the work in a fragment of the time. For more usage information and assistance, click the Help icon at the top of the Slide Manager window, where you'll find user guides and additional videos added as they are produced. Thanks again for watching this online training.